Hi, my name's Sandy. I've been at Sanctified Hope for 6 months now. I had a wonderful childhood. I had a wonderful family. I had 2 wonderful grandmothers and 2 wonderful grandfathers. My mother and my daddy were fantastic. I was raised in church. I went to church camp. I went to Sunday school. I went to Wednesday night Act Teens. My mother was a saint just like my grandmother's. I mean, my daddy was the provider of all providers. He was Superman. And I had everything you could ever dream of being a child. And I wanted to run. I was a wild child and I wanted to run. I didn't get into trouble till I was like 15 or 16. And that's when I started following the crowd. I started following my friends. I started smoking cigarettes. I started smoking weed. Before long, I was doing meth. My husband, he started working out of town 6 weeks at a time, and then he would come back in. He worked for a trampoline company, and that left me alone at home. I started running around with my old friends, and before long, I was doing drugs again. Didn't want to do drugs after when my baby was little, and I quit. My husband, at this time, he had come home and started doing drugs with me. He couldn't quit. And I left him. From that point on, I went on to a career. I ran a doctor's office 15 years. I raised my daughter by myself, and I was clean for 15 years. It wasn't 6 months until I had been arrested. The next thing I know, I'm back in jail with no bond, and I was on my way to prison. I got a 15-year sentence. I went from county jail to prison. I did 4 on that 15. I came out. I felt so defeated. I couldn't get past that point of getting back into society. And before long, I was high again. Out of the last 20 years, I've done 11 years incarcerated. I knew this time that I wanted something different. I knew that I wasn't doing it, and I was tired of being a burden to my family. You know, I come home with that $50 and the clothes on my back and just like drop in and say, here I am, you know, and I couldn't get a job. When I did get a job, it wasn't enough to support me, and that's where my addiction was in jail. And that's when I realized that I can break this. Is being incarcerated and being away from it. And in jail, I cried out. You know, it was God, get me out of here. You know, I can't do this for myself. If you can take me, if you can use me, then I'm yours. You know, and I went to jail a couple more times after that. But looking back, he showed me total favor the whole time I was gone. I can't even remember how I heard, but it was like, oh my gosh, there's a transitional home in Weatherford. I couldn't believe that Parker County would support such a place. And when I found out about it, I was so excited, but I smoked, and you can't smoke at Sanctified Hope. And so I applied at some other places, and then one day, God started pounding into my head that I wasn't going to smoke anymore. And God told me that I was through. And 3 days it took. And I woke up and told my bunkie, you know, I don't think I'm going to smoke anymore. And of course, she told me I was crazy. I was nuts. And God had totally removed that monster. And then it was like, you know, I was like, I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. And the girl said, Sandy, Sanctified Hope is right there in your hometown. Why don't you go? And it's like, well, it's a 3-part process, and I don't have any stamps. And she said, I got stamps. So, okay, all right, God. I said, well, they want character references. My family is they're just tired of me. Me asking them to do all this and take time out of their daily life for a character reference, I just don't know. And she said, I'll write you a character reference, and she'll write you a character reference, and she'll write you a character reference. How many do you need? So then they start writing character references. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, God, okay. And so I mail them in, and I'm laying in bed one night, and I wake up, and I look over, and there was a letter from Sanctified Hope. And I sit up in the middle of the night, and I read it, and it's congratulations, you've been accepted to Sanctified Hope. God showed me so much during that time. I came home. Everything I needed was provided. Promises of helping me get a job, getting back on my feet, helping me work myself into society, and every promise that was made has been fulfilled.